This conference will now be recorded.
Pavan Kumar. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present you about CT basics. Okay, my name is Dr. Pavan Kumar Patnala. My modest is Dr. Bhavani Shankar, Assistant Professor of Radiodiagnosis. Okay, coming to nineteen voice. In 1979, G.N. Hounsfield shared the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine with Alan MacLeod. He is a physics professor who developed solutions to the mathematical problems which are involved in CTs. Okay. After that, the major important events in the CT, okay, which are happened in 1961 by Dr. G.N. Hounsfield developed first clinically useful CT head scanner. In 1971, first clinically useful CT head scanner was installed at Atkinson Morley Hospital in England. In 1972, the first paper on CT presented to the British Institute of Radiology by Hounsfield and Dr. Ambrose. In 1972, Dr. Laidley had introduced the whole body CT scanner, which is called as a ACTA scanner. Okay. In 1979, G.N. Hounsfield shared the Nobel Prize with Alan MacLeod. After that, I will come to the basics of CT scan. CT means the computed tomography. Its a mission uses X-ray. Normal X-ray radiation and create a cross-sectional take CT slides and all. Oh, you will take a cross-sectional slices in CT. Think like looking into a loaf of a bread by cutting it into thin slices and then viewing the slices individually. Just you can see here, okay, a loaf of bread. After cutting into small slices, we can view a small slice like this. Okay, normally we'll take 5 slice, but just just CT, and sometimes we'll take 3 2 and 1 also depends on we need. After that, the basic principle of CT is the internal structure of an object can be reconstructed from multiple projections of the object. Okay, the CT scanning is a systematic collection and representation of projection data. Okay, please note it down about this Hounsfield unit. If you know, you can get in your NEET exams also. I think you are going to write next exam. I think. Hounsfield units numeric information in each pixel of CT image. It is related to the composition and nature of the tissue. Okay, for each tissue, different Hounsfield unit composition will be there. Okay, to represent the density of the tissue, we will use these Hounsfield units. Okay, it is also called as a CT number. And normally, the normal Hounsfield units of different uh, brain. It is plus 30 Hounsfield units. See, sorry. It's for white matter brain, it is plus 30. For gray matter, plus 45. And for blood, 70. And for bone or any calcification, it is 10. It is 1000. And it depends on the calcification and maturity of the bone also. Sometimes up to 700 to 1000 also it is possible for bone or calcifications. And in CT, there are many more generations, up to 5 generations are there. I will tell you about one by one. First, the first generation CT are developed by a single detector. Okay, in this first generation CT scan, we will use a pencil beam. You can all see here. We will have a single detector here, and this is the CT, and then we will project in the pencil beam. Okay. You can all see here like what is pencil beam and how we will take CT in first generation, and it translate protective detector movement, and the scan times looks about an hour or more. Okay, you can all see the pencil beam is very thin. It is depends to the only small part of our body. Okay, to take the whole body it will take more time. Okay, only head imaging was possible with this pencil beam. Only in golden days, only CT head is possible with this first generation CT scanners. After that, coming to the next second generation, we will use multiple pencil beams to decrease the time of the scan time, and then on different parts of the body also you can see. In second generation, there are multiple detectors. You can see multiple detectors here and multiple multiple rotating detectors here. Okay, they are placed in an arc-like manner. Okay, now in our generation we will follow this type of. Okay, and we will use a fan beam instead of a pencil beam. In third generation we will use a fan beam and it will rotate like this. We will show that clockwise direction. Rotate tube, that's why it is known as rotate tube detector method. And the scan time is of 5 seconds. Uh, before, for every slice, 2 to 3 minutes, I think. In this third generation, the scan time of 5 seconds only for every slice. All scanners today use this technology. Okay, this multiple detector array method and this fan beam. Okay, in present generation, we use in our ashram also. We, in our ashram CT scan also, we will use multiple detector array. Okay, after coming to the fourth generation, here only the stationary detectors are used. Okay, they are arranged in outer ring. Okay, you can all see these are the stationary detector. It is an outer ring, and the detectors are placed in stationarily in all this thing. It will rotate. Okay, the fan beam only the tube rotates around the patient. Okay, it will rotate around the patient. Okay, you can see in our ashram also. See the CT unit. Okay, normal standard CT mission. Uh, if we see the inner parts, it will be seen like this. It has mainly the gantry. We will all see the outer round. This one is gantry. This is the gantry, and then it will contains X-ray tube, detector array, patient table, control console. Okay, you'll all see the patient table. The patient will lay down on the couch, and then it will goes into the scanner, and then X-ray tube will be there, and some detector array also there. We can see here. In the gantry, you will see the generator. You can see here, and the stand frame, and these are the array detectors. They are placed stationarily. Okay, and this is an X-ray tube from which the X-rays will project, and then these are the array detectors, and then they will receive the X-rays produced and from the board. And then this is the aperture. Normally the patient table or couch will go through this. Okay, and this is the gantry, and then you can see a generator, power generator here, and this is the patient table. This is the standard CT machine structure normally, and I will show you complete details of all the parts of the CT gantry separately. And in the CT gantry, first thing was the tube and collimator. What tube and collimator will do? This is the anode heat capacity with performance tube is 6.3 million heat units (mHU) and the collimating rate of 8,40,000 heat units per unit. This is dynamics and kHU per minute. Okay, next coming to the detectors or data acquisition system. The detector is comprised of a solid scintillator material known as a highlight. A highlight using a 16 into 1.25 mm matrix design combined with 1 mm channel width provides 99% dose efficiency. Located on the back of the detector is the data acquisition system or DAS. The DAS, that is that data acquisition system, is the analog of digital converter. Okay, next coming to the tube control. The tube controller regulates the tube rotor, starts and stop time. Okay, after that, high frequency generator. The high frequency generator is composed of the cathode and anode, and these are in tanks. Each tank occupies 1 cubic feet within the gantry. Together, the cathode and the anode provides 53.2 kilowatts of power with performance tubes. Next, coming to the onboard computer. In the onboard computer, what it will do, it regulates the or errors in the image that are unrelated to the object scan. Okay, suppose we are doing a CT head, CT brain, or CT chest. Okay, but we will see different other types of artifacts in this. The most common artifacts in the CT you will see are motion artifacts. These are due to the patient movement and some other things. And then streak artifacts, I will show you what are different artifacts and how they will come different coming slides. And then third one, beam hardening artifacts, and then partial volume averaging artifacts, and then ring artifacts. Okay, coming to the motion artifact, and I will tell you the effects of artifacts. They deteriorate image quality, and then subject information is lost. Suppose if we get any artifacts in the suppose some part of that, suppose if we want to see cerebellum, and if we get an artifact there, we don't clearly see the cerebellum and then the normal anatomy of the region, the when during the artifacts, and they are subject to the information is lost. Okay, then pathological details are lost. Okay, due to these artifacts, we should, that's why we should very clear what are these artifacts are. Actually, if patient is not stable sometimes, if patient is unable to cooperate with us to do a CT scan and unable to lie down properly, and during this time the patient will be move normally, and okay, and some in an unconscious patient also they will move. Okay, we have to take care of that normally, and then we will reduce the scan time. It means actually normally if we take more scan time, the patient has a chances to move. That's why we will reduce the scan time, and we will clear and concise instructions to the patient to not to move. Okay, and then proper patient immobilization, and then any measures to take proper immobilization of the patient. If needed, administration of some sedative and antiparalytic drugs. We all know. Okay. After giving those sedatives and antiparalytic drugs, the patient will not move. Then we will take the scan. Okay. This is how we will reduce motion artifacts. Just the into the streak artifacts. The cause of this is present. You can see that it is coming like a streaks. Okay, the cause of is the presence of a movement of the object or very high density contrast media or metallic implants or surgical groups. You can see there is a craniatum defect here, and some object is basically here. Okay, due to this, you will get a streak artifacts. Okay, some foreign body or some metallic implant that have kept after craniotomy of this patient. Okay, then we will get this type of streak artifacts. You can clearly see. Okay, the appearance is like a streaks, and for remedy means how we resolve these streak artifacts to remove the offending object if possible. If possible, we will if we able to remove these metallic implants, clips, or something, surgical clips, and sometimes actually normally if the patient wears any earrings, ear, nose rings, nose pins, and any other metal items, okay, we will get the streak artifacts here, and that's where then we will tell that patient to remove any ornaments and earrings or nose pins like that. Hmm? How to remove the offending object if possible, use a smoothing algorithm. Okay, this is denture means artificial teeth. Okay, any metallic teeth, you will get artifacts like this, and due to wall replacement, surgical clip placed in surgical clips, and you will place during by grafting. Okay, during stenting, we will place a surgical clips in the heart. Okay, then we will get this type of streak artifacts in CT. And this is the metal artifacts due to original surgical clips. Okay, and this is the motion artifacts. You can see image which causing blurring and double images. Okay, this is the bone window and this is normal brain window. Okay, long range streaks you can see. Okay, here we will just blurring of the image. We don't identify which part is clearly completely the image is blurred here, and we can see here a long streak of artifacts. Okay, next coming to the beam hardening artifacts. The cause is polyenergetic X-ray spectrum of 25 to 120. Yes. Okay, next coming to the partial volume averaging artifacts. The causes of these are presence of tissues with high varying absorption properties in whole cell, and the rectification is usage of thinner CT slices. Okay, actually, normally, what is partial volume averaging artifacts? What normally we will take 5 mm, 3 mm slices. Okay, I will tell you clearly what is partial volume artifacts means. Actually, normally CET cuts, if you take 5 mm slice, for every 5 mm different. Okay, in this one 5 slice, we get sometimes bone tissue, and then at the same time normal soft tissue also. Okay, if the bone tissue in that 5 slide is more than 50% or 60%, either 78% will, if it is there, and then the total slice will be look like a calcified, that is bone one. Okay, if you got it, I will show you some images after that. How to rectify uses of thinner CT slices. Okay, so if you take the 5 slide, you will get the complete slice. We will differentiate that soft tissue from the bone. And next, coming to the ring artifact. The cause of these are the failure or miscalibration of a detector. Okay, the appearance is like a ring. Okay, you'll see like this. How will you rectify regular quality assurance checks? Normal service should be done to the CT machine. Regularly you have to do service for the CT scan and cleaning, and then the quality of the CT machine inside the gantry. You have to clean all these things and have to check all these things. Then we will overcome these ring artifacts. And coming to the advantages of CT. What are the advantages to CT? It is quick, very quick and painless, and its costs less than MRI, better availability compared to the MRI, and shows up acute bleed, acute CT. In CT will see acute bleed, okay, and good visualization of bony structures than the MRI, okay, and calcified lesions of the body. And then resolution of the image, okay, very poor and comparative to the MRI, okay, and then beam hardening artifacts I have shown you before, and then injection of contrast media can cause kidney problem. And actually in CT sometimes we will use contrast media, okay, oral sometimes we will give oral contrast, sometimes we will give IV contrast, okay, and they will cause some renal problems and some acute allergic reactions, okay, at the an injection site reaction to some people, and these are all disadvantages in CT. Okay, contrast enhanced CT, and some procedures requires anesthesia. On the obviously, and that's good. Actually, Pavan Kalyan.
Sir,
I'm done with that CT basics. Actually, I will show you some important named fractures of the in radiology. Okay, if you all follow those, then it will be good. Okay,
yes, sir.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
If possible, turn on videos and unmute. Connection lost అని వస్తుంది. ఈ మెసేజ్ పెట్టాలా అటెండెన్స్ కి? Okay, Ron Killian, I will show you next time. Next.
Okay, sir.